It's a pretty nice day today, but it's really windy, so I'm trying to hide the microphone in behind the boat. But I want to show you something there that I've been putting on the mast because I think it's pretty cool, and my mate's been helping me out with it. So I want to show you. Plus, I told him I'd give him a shout out, so I'll show you. So these are the spreader lights. You might remember we had a set of 3D printed mounts on it before, but these are actually a new design that we came up with, and Richie, my mate back home, printed them off for me and shipped them over, and they look dead tidy. So we've run the wiring up through the spreader light as well, instead of trying to pin it to the outside of the spreader, and it runs down through the spreader and it all joins up here together and then runs down the mast. So no wires on the outside of the mast, which is really tight. Doing the last bits on the mast, and hopefully tomorrow it's going to go up because we actually got the fittings. So we've got the diamonds to refit. So the diamonds basically act like running backstays. They stop the mast from pumping outwards, so they're stayed from up the top and halfway down the mast, and then they've got like a spreader that pushes the diamond. It's like they're sort of the shape of a diamond basically, and what that does is it stops the mast from pumping when you like going downwind. And yeah, so this rig should be super strong. I mean, the spreaders are really heavy set ones. They're really strong spreaders, and the last ones were fine too, but these are extra strong. The section itself is really strong, but it's actually lighter than the other one, and it's 3 meters shorter. So let's have a look at the difference in length and see the actual difference in the masts. So up in the masthead we have this about a meter and a half. So obviously we're losing that, but there's the other end as well, which we're gaining on as well. But here's the masthead. So we have a Windex, nice Windex. The masthead light is fitted, and we've got this wireless wind indicator as well that does speed and wind direction. So that's got a little solar panel on it there, and that's wireless down to a receiver on at the helm. Obviously we've got all new standing rigging, all new running rigging, so spinnaker halyard, main halyard, topping lift, and I think that's the Genoa. That one's the Genoa. And then we have the staysail halyard, and we have, sorry about the wind, and we have, that's actually everything. I think there's a couple more, like the pole up pole we need to get tomorrow. So yeah, basically I flipped the mast back on it, so the back side is facing up. I'm going to give the mast a good wash because it's actually been sitting here for months and it's really dusty and manky. I've obviously made a nice bit of a mess with Duralac, but at least there won't be a mess with corrosion in a few years. I need to get a spreader light, but that's on the list. We can do that another day. And yeah, it's basically everything now. It's ready to go. You can see she's a really nice setup, nice rig, and the boat's going to be unreal. So basically between the new rig, the painted deck, the new winches, and a few bits like that, basically the boat's going to be amazing. Let's have a look at the dent as well while we're down here. I've just spotted it and I've been grinding it off and painting it, and yeah, let's have another look at it. And there it is, nice big lump of a dent. I basically just ground it out, made sure that there was no rust in there, and I've just coated it with epoxy. I'm not going to repair it, and I know a few people have commented that steel will get stretched when it's bent in like that, and I completely agree with that. The only way to really repair this would be to cut it out and replace it. But honestly, that's not in the scope of this haul out. There's no point. Like, it's not allowing water into the boat. It's not actually structural, if that makes sense. I know it's structural to the keel, obviously, but welds to it. But the fact that this is dented doesn't make a difference to the actual boat, and it isn't going to compromise the strength of it. If there was a massive dent in the hull, then I would replace that, because that would obviously mean that the metal has been stretched and weakened. But because this is in the leading edge of the keel, behind it is the ballast, it's the pole up here is capped in the bilge. It's really not a major problem, and it's not something that I'm gonna spend a couple of weeks cutting out and making a new part for. It just doesn't make any sense. So for now, that's gonna stay as it is and just be an interesting story to tell whenever we come out in the boatyards and they say, what happened there? And I can say, well, this octopus came out of nowhere, and you know, the stories go from there. So I'm gonna get back to the mast, gonna finish off wiring the last bits, wash it, maybe stick some wax on it, I'm not sure, and then get ready to step it tomorrow and start making all our sails. That's the next section of this project. Get the sails done. So let's get this done.
So it is the morning that our mast is going up. Pretty excited. So the riggers have just arrived. The crane's going to be here in a little while. The lads are just doing some final checks on the rigging for it to go. So the way it actually has to work is it has to go back up and then taken back down for measurements, and then the swaging can happen. So I'm going to be going along with the guys to help with the swaging. Well, when I say help, I'll be watching how they do it really. But yeah, so finally mast is going up and back down and up again, but we'll get there. So let's see how we get on. Mast is up at the moment, but it's just about to come back down because we have to go off. They've just measured all the measurements they need to do, and we're gonna then head off down to the boat shed to do all the swaging and stuff like that. So I don't really know much about that, but I'm gonna pop along and see how they do it. So I'll take you guys along with me. Then we'll be back here to put it back up, hopefully for the very last time. So let's go.
I'm not doing anything. Controlling anything.
Is that one of the bigger ones?
Either or.
It's not one of the smaller ones.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can eat it.
Just pinch it so we can move.
feeling, Rhys?
Good. The backstay and the forestay is still to do, but the rig is actually off the ground, which is good because it was starting to get tripped over and bumped into.
And paint and stuff, so we're just sitting here admiring it.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at it thinking what I'm going to do next.
So yeah, it's finally up. What, 5 weeks delay?
Yeah, and like this is massive for everyone else who contributed as well with coins. Like this is all part of this, like you're all part of this as well, so
Big time, yeah.
that's a major
Thank you for all the support for getting us this far, I suppose.
yeah, no, there was a big portion of it paid by the coins, and you know, without that we couldn't have afforded it, so you know, it's looking well now, especially in that light as everything is shiny. But we've loads left to do now, but
so
it's
much.
just trying to take in what we've done in the last 4 weeks. We've painted the whole deck, the boat, the rig is up, we've a new wind generator to go on. Well, someone gave us a wind generator to go on, which I'll go into more detail. We'll get the stanchions done soon, and then we're going to polish all the stainless, and a new forehatch as well.
We painted the deck as well, so it's looking pretty shiny and fresh.
Boat's very fresh, yeah.
So yeah, she looks really good at the moment.
Yep, just have to get all the winches and stuff fitted again onto the cockpit.
But we're two happy heads right now, aren't we?
Happy sailors, yeah.
Happy sailors.
Well, we're almost sailors again and not just tourists in Wales, which is nice.
Let's have a look at it anyway. So this is our view at the moment, so a few things to do tomorrow with the rigger still. She's looking good. So Rhys is at the moment just over here putting on the winches and winch pads and all that. So yeah, we're getting there. And it's a lovely evening in the marina. So this is a winch, was a winch, it's taken apart, and it is going to sit nicely on this winch plate, which is going to sit nicely on the mast just here somewhere once it's all constructed back together. What are you doing, Rhys?
Just drilling, fitting the winches to the what are these, winch pads. So we actually had to have these made by Zspa because they didn't do ones big enough, and I like to have massive winches on the mast because that's like, you know, that's how you get up the mast sometimes, is you need to be winched up. If you don't have a what's it called, self-ascender or whatever, I can't remember, are they called a self-ascender or something?
A lift up the mast.
Yeah, basically you need them to get wound up the mast. It's late in the evening and it's I can't remember how to talk. But these will go on the mast like that, and the winches will be on those, like the last mast. But these are massive, so Zspa made them basically, and I really appreciate Zspa sending these out to us because the ones we had were too small and they just swapped them, no problem. So yeah, that was fairly sound. So I'm just gonna keep drilling these and get the winches on, and then we can get on to the next bits. Up at last.
Finally.
We had to put it up, measure the wires, take it back down, take all the wires off, have them swaged. So Jade did all that obviously while I was inside.
I watched.
And and then yeah, put the mast back up again, and then tension it. So we still have to put the backstay and the forestay on. We're thinking we'll leave the forestay off until the boat's in the water, because we don't know where plumb is. Especially now we've done the water tank, the boat's going to sit lower in the back than it had done previously. So when it's full, so we're going to put the boat in the water, put it as full as possible, and then we'll get the mast plumb, and get the Genoa made up. So yeah, it's a big step getting the mast off the floor, because obviously it was starting to get like paint on it and stuff.
She's looking well.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. There's obviously a couple of tweaks to do. The rigging hasn't been tensioned. One of the spreaders is drooping, all that. So we know all that, and there's loads of adjustment to be done. The fact that it's actually up and out of the way is one of the major things.
5 weeks, eh?
Yeah, 5 or 6 weeks, yeah.
So that's part one of our big plan.
Yeah.
So much more to go.
So we've got a spray hood, enclosure, and loads of sails to have made now as well.
Yeah.
Obviously that's with Boat Shed doing all that stuff for us. So we're going to be hopefully doing a lot more videos of sail making and the details of things like that. And hopefully get Steve to tell us what's going on, because I don't have a clue.
But yeah, we're looking forward to the next section. And again, big thank you to all of you, because without your help, this wouldn't have gone up really.
No, actually, yeah, all the
Yeah.
coins and stuff, yeah.
You can still purchase coins through our website, and we'll leave a link here as well if you want to support us still, because
We've another
really
thing to
not
be paying
cheap.
for as well, yeah.
It's all adding up, especially the longer delays. But
Yep.
thank you again for all your support, all our Patreons. It means so much to us.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram still. See all his
Oh yeah,
Insta snaps.
the Instagram. Yep.
But yeah, thank you from both of us, and we're gonna sleep well tonight knowing it's up, eh?
Yep, very good.
Or not well, since it's not tightened. It might bang a lot.
Yeah, well, it's vibrating a bit, but that's fine.
But yeah.
You get used to it. I
And
missed
we
that actually.
will see you all next time.
Bye.